It's the beginning of April 2016 and the Ski Club TV production team are leaving London to discover Jasna ski resort in Slovakia's Tatras Mountains.
The journey to Slovakia was really easy. We flew from Luton to Poprad Tatry on Wizz Air, which means that the value is really good. It's quite a cheap airline to get there. It takes around about 2 hours, and once you're there, you're very, very close into the ski resorts. We even skied on the first afternoon.
After a 2.5 hour flight, the team cram their gear into a small hatchback and make the short drive north to Slovakia's second tallest mountain.
Only about a 15-minute drive from the airport was our first destination, which was the ski resort of Off-piste. It's not a very big ski area, but it's got a fantastic viewpoint at the top. Right at the top of the mountain, you can go from around about 900 metres up to 2,600 metres. Well worth the trip up, just have a look. There's fantastic views all the way around. You can literally see as far as the eye can see, all the way across into Poland.
So we're in a nice little snug cable car at the moment, just making our way up to about 2,600 metres to Off-piste. Just they had a really nice view out in the area, second highest point in Slovakia.
Although the cable car takes customers to the top of the peak, very few people descend the peak on skis, as the terrain is unpisted and for expert mountaineers only.
The views from the top of the cable car were breathtaking, and it's definitely worth the €30 to go up and see it. The ride down was entertaining. To be honest, if you're going to go skiing, it's probably not the best resort to spend a week at, but it's definitely worth heading there for a day, and you can use it on the Jasna lift pass. We found ourselves skiing down a river of white snow in between trees and mud, and yeah, it was a lot of fun back down to the middle station.
From Nízke Tatry, the drive to Jasna is under an hour, along one of the quietest dual carriageways you are ever likely to drive. It's worth remembering that Slovak police are very vigilant about speeding and have a zero tolerance policy.
So we were told that we were briefly exceeding the speed limit, and then gave them some money and it was okay, and now we're on our way again.
This is criminal in front, criminal driver. As you drive past the outskirts of Litoski Michalaus, you are reminded of Slovakia's Eastern Bloc past. But the concrete soon turns to pine forests, and soon enough you're at the bottom of the resort, which is hidden in trees.
Jasna is the largest ski resort in Slovakia. It would take about half an hour, 40 minutes to drive up from the airport up to Jasna, so very, very quick to get there. It's around about 50-60 kilometres a piece in all, and on our first day we're fortunate enough to have an instructor, Stanislav, show us around, and also local seasonaire Alice, just to take us around the best bits of the mountain, the best of the spring skiing. Got to go all the way around the resort and obviously show us a few little hidden bits and pieces, some great free riding on offer.
By alpine standards, Jasna is small, offering just over 1,000 metres of vertical and 50 kilometres of marked runs.
One of the great things about Jasna is that you can access freeride terrain very quickly. There's very modern lifts that take you straight up to the top in a matter of minutes, and then along the top there's a ridgeline, and you can pretty much follow that along either way for probably a kilometre each way, and access some amazing freeride terrain. You've got couloirs, you've got really steep faces, cliff bands, I mean really technical stuff. And then once you've done those, the bowls kind of lead you down through trees, through some fun terrain, back to the lifts, and then you can go up and do it again really quickly.
Skiing around on our first day with Stanislav was a real bonus because he could sort of choose the best bits. Skied a nice couple of couloirs. The first one was quite crisp, quite challenging skiing. The sun hadn't been on it very long.
Although our trip to Jasna fell during the last few days of the season, we were still able to enjoy skiing on and off-piste all the way to the base of the resort, in spite of record low snowfalls across Europe and the comparatively low altitude of the resort.
So if you're a piste skier and you've spent a lot of time in the larger Swiss, French and Austrian resorts and you like clocking up the miles, then Jasna probably isn't the resort for you. There's only about 50 kilometres of pistes. But what it does offer is fantastic free riding and it's a great place for beginners and families.
With Stanislav leading the way, it was time to have some fun.
The Eskimos call the subject of my story Bushman. The Colville Indians of upstate Washington call him Sasquatch. The Hoopas of Northern California call him Oma. But right now, let's just call him Bigfoot.
At the end of the day, Stanislav was chomping at the bit to get down one particular off-piste face. It was easily accessible from the top. We literally just walked, I don't know, about 50 metres into the freeride area and then dropped down the side. And we were first offered with an awesome couloir, which had some great corn snow in it. And then probably, I don't know, a kilometre down, we entered into the trees.
Then we had to do a little bit of a walk, but ended up skiing through the trees right at the bottom to end up right at the bottom of the Jasna.
At the end, Stanislav ended up in the stream and washing his face, drinking the water. And then we missed the last bus and the last lift, so we had to pretty much hitchhike. Fortunately, Stanislav's boss was very kind and offered us a lift. But that just shows the people around here, they're so friendly, so helpful. One of the great things about Jasna is that there's a whole world of things to do away from the ski resort. So if you're not feeling it one day, you can just drive down to Liptovský or you can get the bus. And there's a zoo down there, which we went to, and Guy kissed a llama, French kissed a llama.
I kissed a llama.
Did you enjoy it?
And I liked it.
You can go skydiving in the Hurricane Factory, which Guy was surprisingly good at.
I'm just signing my life away. I'm about to jump into a wind tunnel for the first time.
You can go to the water park, which is absolutely enormous and has all types of bars, has slides, and there's a huge indoor area, so you can go there in the middle of the winter.
Caves are a pretty big deal here. There's around about 6,000 caves in Slovakia. The Liberty Cave is the biggest in Slovakia, and it's only about 5 minutes down the road from Jasna. It's around about 8 kilometers long and discovered in 1920s.
Walking into the Liberty Cave, the first thing that we came across was this huge like amphitheatre of a cave, and it's where they held the FIS Women's World Cup medal ceremony.
But if you prefer to do your sightseeing above ground, then Slovakia doesn't disappoint. It's a beautiful country with a fascinating history.
One of the best things about this trip was definitely the scenery. This place is absolutely beautiful. You know it as soon as you land at the airport. Driving out to the ski resort, you can see the high Tatras and the low Tatras either side, so you've got the mountains either side as you're driving in. We're sat here, 5 minutes walk from our hotel. Beautiful, tranquil, everywhere is like this.
Although many holiday makers stay at the large hotels in Jasna, Liptovský offers affordable alternative accommodation and a regular bus service to the resort.
So the resort of Jasna, up near where the Grand Hotel is where we stayed, is actually very chilled out. So if you want to experience a little bit of culture and a little bit of nightlife after the après-ski, then most people head down to Liptovský. We headed down one night and we headed to the brewery, the Liptovar Brewery, which is owned by Paul and Marion, two guys that used to work in the city and had a passion for microbrewery. So they've started this brewery and they are making some fantastic beers. You know, we spent probably the best part of about 6 hours there, drinking all types of beer, all types of spirits, distilled from the beer, I think. And it was a really fun night, and I'd definitely recommend it. The food there is fantastic as well.
If you get the chance, you want to try out some traditional food, head to a Kaliba. Greta's Kaliba is where we went, had some really amazing food. It's just by Liptovský and just on the side of the lake. Really fantastic, beautiful place.
We smashed back some ribs, we had some pork knuckle, basically just feasted, and obviously washed it down with some of the most disgusting alcohol I've ever drunk in my life. But I think that's the Slovakian way.
Na zdravie. Na zdravie.
So So how would I sum up Jasna for people that haven't been here? First off, I would say that it's a brilliant place to bring a family. There's so much to do away from the ski resort, and the lifts are brand new and modern, and the hotels are very affordable. For eating out is affordable. It's a great place to come if you're on a bit more of a budget and you're looking for good, fun skiing.
So to sum up Slovakia, I'd definitely come again. It's the sort of place I'd probably come in February or March when the conditions would be better, and something to consider if you have maybe a young family and you don't want to shell out the same amount of money as if you're going to one of the larger alpine resorts. The people are really, really friendly, and I'm hoping to come back in the summer as well.